Hey Nash, what should we make?
Let's take garlic bread and give it a full-time job.
All right, let's make cheesesteak stuffed garlic bread. Welcome back to Chaos Kitchen, where we love to take delicious things and make them even better. Today, we're gonna combine a cheesesteak and garlic bread, and we're gonna take the cheesesteak and stuff it in the garlic bread and make a cheesesteak stuffed garlic bread. It should be easy, it should be delicious, and something that you can make a bunch of, serve to people at a party or a gathering, or just don't tell anyone you made it, save it for yourself and eat your feelings later. Whatever works for you, that's the plan. So without further ado, let's go. So we need to thin slice some ribeye. So I have this ribeye that's just about frozen solid here. I saw Babish do this and I think it should work. So we're gonna try slicing it with the mandolin and wish me luck. Hopefully I don't cut off a finger. And then when we get down to where it's too uncomfortable, then we'll just finish this off with a knife. The mandolin maybe saves you a little bit of time, but this is fine. It's not that hard.
That's what she said.
You want to freeze your steak for a little bit before you do this. It just makes it easier to cut it nice and thin. You don't want it frozen solid though. And there we go. Nice thin slices. That'll work. And we want a thin slice an onion and a bell pepper or two. So then for our compound butter, we get out some parsley leaves. We give those a nice dice. You want it to be a pretty fine dice. And we put that into some sort of a small bowl or container. I got this little deli thing here. Into that, we add some softened butter. You don't want it to be hard in this case. If it is, it'll just make this more difficult. Then we want some garlic. I'm feeling quite lazy, so I'm just gonna use garlic. I feel like garlic, you lose some of the essence of garlic, so I don't know. My thought is just use more. It'll work. And we'll do some salt. Drop some pepper, some garlic powder, because why not have two kinds of garlic? We'll do just a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, just since it's a beefy dish, you know? I feel like it makes sense. I'm just making things up with feeling. A little bit of pixie dust, a splash of balsamic vinegar, and just a tiny hit of Dijon. And then we just get this all mixed up, combined into a lovely, beautiful, delicioso compound butter. Not sure why I said it that way, but it is what it is. And there we go. Then we set that aside. Then we take out some bread to turn into garlic bread. And then we're just gonna sort of carefully cut this guy in half. And then we just wanna scoop out a bunch of the bread so that we're left with a nice little cavity in there to pack this with cheesesteak. You don't wanna go too crazy. You wanna leave like at least a quarter inch around. As you disembowel this guy, you know, save the little pieces, and you can either use them for snacking bread or you can bake them into nice little croutons. That might be nice. Croutons are nice. I like croutons.
I like croutons too.
Then we just do the same thing to the bottom. You just sort of rip the guts out. And this doesn't have to look pretty, or maybe I'm just saying that because mine doesn't. No, it really doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't freaking matter. Just do your best. Then we take some of our butter and we just give the top and the bottom a nice thin layer. You don't want too much here. We're gonna use most of the butter on the outside once we construct this guy. Don't forget to pay the bread tax. Then with a hot pan on medium heat, throw in some butter. Get that melted. Then we throw in our onions and our peppers. Hit those with a little bit of kosher salt to help them soften a little bit faster. Give them a little flavor. Get that all stirred in so everything's nice and coated in that butter. You gotta lube up your food. You gotta lube everything up. And then we just let this cook. And once your veggies are softened and have a little bit of color, and go ahead and pull them, set them aside. You could just do this all together if you want to use like a griddle, or if you have like a bigger pan or something, or like a Blackstone, or one of those kind of an Evo, one of those cool flat top grills. But I'm just being lazy and I don't really want to get my griddle thing out, so that's what we're doing, yo. Then we want to crank the heat up, put in a little bit of oil. I'm using avocado. Then we put in all of our beef. I said all of it. Come on, pay attention, beef. And we just want to cook it. This beef is chopped nice and thin, so it should cook real nice and quick. Of course, if it all sticks together like this, that doesn't really do you any favors. You're just cooking it like Korean barbecue. Then if you want to make a bunch of noise, like some places like to do, you can do that. That's cool. Just chop up your steak, unless you like that one dude and you think the steak shouldn't be chopped.
Our pad steaks, we use real ribeye meat. We don't chop it up. We don't do all that stuff that people do to make it look like there's more meat in a sandwich.
I don't really care because this is stuffed garlic bread. I mean, who really cares? But, you know, just get your beef cooked. You don't want it raw. All right, I'm done with the noise making. We're gonna hit this with a little bit of kosher salt, some black pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. Once your beef is cooked, you can kill the heat and pull all of our beef off. If you wanted to melt the cheese on the beef right now, I suppose you could. We're gonna put the cheese on and then bake it, so it's gonna all melt into the beef anyways. So this is what we're doing, but hey, you know what? If you wanna do it a different way, do it a different way. It's your cheesesteak stuffed garlic bread or whatever the hell we're calling it. So then we take our bottom piece, our bottom bun. Are these buns? They're big buns. So stupid. And we are going to put down a layer of provolone cheese. Don't forget to pay the cheese tax. $100 cheese tax? That's for me. Then we're gonna lay down a layer of our meat. I should have cooked 2 ribeyes for this, so in the recipe I'll probably make a note of that, because this isn't gonna be it. But you know, it's stuffed. We're not making a Philly cheesesteak. We're making stuffed garlic bread, so this will probably be fine. Just sort of evenly distribute that beef. Where's the beef? Beef, it's what's for dinner. Then we'll do another layer of provolone cheese. This is gonna be a very cheesy cheesesteak.
Don't forget the cheese tax.
You don't get 2 cheese taxes. All right, fine. Pay the second cheese tax. Then we layer on our veggies. Make sure and spill them all over the place, because that's what really makes the sandwich good, is spilling your veggies all over the place. Come on, you stupid pepper. Cooperate. Oh, we missed little meat. Fine. Pay the beef tax. Don't pay the onion tax. That's a bad idea. Then we go with 1 more layer of the queso. I'm gonna do this one a little extra. And then we put our lid on, make sure everything is smushed inside there. Get out some foil, put our guy onto the foil, on a rack in a sheet pan. Then we take our compound butter and just give our guy a nice brushing. Make sure and get all the little nooks and crannies. And then we just wrap this guy up. You don't need to wrap it tightly, so you can just kind of wrap it loosely. And there we go. We got our nice little present here. We're gonna do 2 bakes and a broil. So first bake, wrapped in foil loosely. I believe I mentioned preheat the oven to 375, but if not, that's where the oven is. So make sure your oven's preheated 375, and then we go ahead and put this guy in for about 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, there's our guy. And we just want to, don't do this barehanded. It's a stupid idea. We can get rid of that. Get this guy a little situated. And we want to give him another brushing of our garlic butter. Don't be stingy. Get it all over there. And we're just gonna give this guy a little dusting of some garlic powder. You could lessen the garlic if that's not really your thing. And I'm gonna do some Parmesan cheese too. Because why not, you know? And then this guy goes back in the oven for about 10 more minutes. And here's our guy after another 10 minutes. And then getting pretty crispy there, but if you want it extra crispy, then you can throw it under the broiler for about 1 to 2 minutes, but keep an eye on it because you don't want to let it burn. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And there we go. Third bake's the charm, nice and crispy. Cheese is like molten lava though, so we gotta let this cool for a few minutes. Be right back. And here's our guy after a few minutes of cooling. Let's get a cross section. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. And there we have our cheesesteak stuffed garlic bread. And it's time for a bite. Cheers. It's amazing. You got the beef, the melty cheese, the caramelized veggies, but then that crispy on the outside, soft on the inside garlic bread with that compound butter. It's just delicious, and it's super easy to make. You can make 1 or 2 of them, cut it up into little pieces, serve it as an appetizer, and people will love you for it. Or just keep it all to yourself and use it when you need it to eat some feelings, kill some boredom, or just enjoy a bunch of snacks by yourself. So yeah, go do something like that out of 10. And that's what I think, but hey, let's see what Nash thinks. Hey bud, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I realized the quick trip to the grocery store is the biggest lie people tell themselves.
Well, check it out. We made a cheesesteak stuffed garlic bread. And of course, we made a dog-friendly one just for you. Well, here you go. What do you think?
That's not garlic bread anymore. That's a whole meal wearing a garlic bread costume.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
People rarely remember exactly what they ate, but they almost always remember who they shared it with.
Nash approves, I approve. Another great dish to make and serve and make other people happy, or just make yourself happy. Either way, go do it. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you all. If you enjoyed the video, go hit the like button. And hey, if you want to see other crazy, delicious videos, go check them out somewhere over here. And just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. Until next time, be good and peace.